This all started when we were somehow talking about Avatar 2, and you had mentioned, oh yeah, I don't like Avatar 2. This is Xander's words. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And he sends his Letterboxd review, and it's 8 out of 10, which is 4 stars. And I'm like, oh, so you liked it? And he's like, oh yeah, you got to read the review though. So I was like, oh, okay, that's odd, but I guess I'll read the review. I read the review, and it's, aside from like one sentence or two, it's a decidedly negative multi-paragraph essay review.
I mean, the visuals are beautiful, but I'm bored of visuals for the sake of visuals. Spectacle for purely spectacle. No, I wouldn't mind this much if it wasn't for the fact that every time I get a plot for check my watch twice, and the first time my jaw drops when I realize only an hour has passed. Look, it's a good movie.
Which is fair to feel that way. Totally fair to... No, I actually agree in some parts. What, in your interpretation, is an out of 10 score?
I don't do out of 10. I do the 5-star rating system.
Sure, 5 stars. It equates to something.
Because I'm not a little bitch. No, I'm just kidding. So I do Letterboxd. So I do the 5 stars for any movie. I'll do a 1 out of 5 star. Half star means absolutely loathed the film. This is an awful film. 4 stars means, hey, this was a good film. This was a great film. And then 5 stars means it was a fantastic film. Loved it. I try to give movies reviews. Okay, I try to at least give at least one sentence or something. If I bother giving a movie like one sentence, it's either really good or I just didn't have much to say about it. But if I give it like paragraphs long, even that, I mean, that tells you that the movie left so much of an impact on me that I had to say something. Reviews are a spectrum, Drake. Okay, it's 2025. It's time to be a bit more accepting.
Okay, I fully accept and to an extent actually agree with your logic here, but I don't believe your logic tracks with how you rate movies. And with that, I might just back up by saying, you did not like Avatar 2. You said as much in your review. You gave it a negative review, big, long negative review, which is fair. Again, yeah. I'm not criticizing you not liking it. You can like it or not. But you then gave it 4 stars, which you said mere minutes ago means that it was a great film and you really liked it.
It was a great film, yes. Well, okay, I said really like it, but to be honest, I'm rambling here. I don't have an official description. So I just think... I just mean ratings in itself means that I think it was a great film. Like when I said I really like it, I just meant like, just talking casually. If I say yeah, great, I had a good time or something.
Right, but
let's say I enjoyed my experience. That's a better phrasing.
Sure, but you didn't enjoy your experience with Avatar 2.
I did enjoy my experience. I had a good time. I saw it in 3D and IMAX. It was amazing looking. It was a beautiful shot film. The VFX is impressive. The acting is a great job. It was a good viewing. I'm not tearing my hair out, rolling my eyes.
I challenge that, my friend. This review is very negative.
It is because
I did not know you liked Avatar 2. That's kind of why I was like kind of
I enjoyed Avatar 2, but Avatar 2 is not a good movie. It is a spectacle. It is a roller coaster. It is let's look at the pretty VFX and that's it. I mean, it's not much else. I mean, the story is fan fiction at best.
Let me go back to the Discord chat. Yeah, you did. You said I didn't like Way of Water in the Discord chat.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. It's not a good movie, but from a non-objective looking thing, it is a well-made film and it deserves 4 stars.
No, it doesn't. Okay, all right, hold on. So a rating that someone gives is based on their feeling on that movie. So like if I love Van Helsing. I can defend Van Helsing all day long. I think it's an amazing movie. I can't possibly give that a negative review because I love it and I'm the one rating it. So my rating should reflect how I feel on the movie. And if you don't like Avatar: The Way of Water, which you have now just clearly admitted, then giving it a positive rating, to me, that seems disingenuous because it doesn't accurately reflect how you feel in the movie.
Disingenuous? No, I think we both don't like musicals, right? Or do you like musicals? I can't tell.
I'm not a fan, usually.
Okay, so you're not a fan of musicals, right? Les Miserables. It's a highly acclaimed film, Les Miserables. I think it got an award or something. Did it get a award?
It got nominations for stuff. I think it won some stuff.
Okay. It won some stuff, got nominations. Made a lot of money and stuff, clearly well shot and stuff. But because I don't like musicals, because I don't like sitting through musicals, that means I have to give it 2 stars because I personally found it boring and tedious listening to that music, that means automatically the film has no merit. It has nothing good going for it.
No. Whether you like musicals or not is not relevant to you liking this film. This film can be a surprise. But if you didn't like that film, then you need to give that film a negative score to reflect how you felt about it.
So
even if it's well shot.
I'm against CGI, if I think that CGI is this or that, then I should just give it. Yeah, I don't. It's a well-made.
That's
movie.
a bias. If you have that bias, that's a bias you have. Sure.
I know.
But if that's how you honestly feel, then you should honestly. Okay, if
my review states how I honestly feel.
Okay, but your score is not accurately reflecting how you feel because you didn't like Avatar 2. You gave it an 8 out of 10. Those don't work. Those don't make sense.
How does it not make sense? I
because 8 out of 10 is a positive, a wildly positive. It's a couple points away from perfect score, and you said you didn't like it, which is not what 8 out of 10 means.
Yes, there are elements that you can like it or not. I personally enjoy, but I can also recognize that it's a well-made film. This movie got you liked Avatar: Way of Water. Half the population liked Avatar: Way of Water.
Well, let me see if I can pare this back a little bit. I think we're already popping off. But, okay, so when you eat a meal, right, you don't choose to like a meal. You either do or you don't. It happens to you. It's like an experience, right?
Yeah.
You can't, if you don't like tomatoes, you can't just decide to like tomatoes. You just don't, right? There's no amount of like someone convincing you or talking to you. You just don't. You don't like tomatoes. Okay, so if I say, do you want a tomato? And you say, no, I don't like them. You can't be like, well, it was grown on a well-made plant, so I feel like it's an 8 out of 10. Give me that tomato. I fucking love it. You don't like them. That's fine.
I think food is a bad example. Video games is a better example for what you're trying to tell me.
Sure.
So do you enjoy RPGs?
Usually no, actually.
Okay, so you play an RPG, you look at an RPG and you're like, it's 2 out of 10. But like Final Fantasy VII, that's usually agreed as a great Final Fantasy game. But you don't like RPGs, so automatically that now means that Final Fantasy VII is a 2 out of 10?
From me, yes, because I don't want to play that game.
But you can't recognize that it has a great story or it does
I can recognize the story and all that. That's all well and good, but at the end of the day, I'm giving a score based on my experience with this game.
But then that's disingenuous if you're not recognizing its merits. That's super
ingenuous. That's super honest.
See, this is the problem with giving things just a score, because most people will not read the review on just the score.
It doesn't matter what they read the review on. It matters what the score means. It as just a quick little
but the only way to see what a score means is if you read the review, so you can see.
No, the score is a score for a reason. Otherwise, it'd just be a sign that says "read this," and you'd never need to click anything. The score is supposed to reflect your feelings. So, okay, if I filmed a stop sign for 90 minutes, right? And I hired a bunch of people, like one guy does like the polishing so the stop sign is shining. I got like a lighting guy so the stop sign is, I got a camera guy, it's all in focus, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, well-made, well-done stop sign. And that's in theaters for 90 minutes, right? Okay. It's called Stop Sign the Film. And you watch Stop Sign the Film, directed by Jake Camara and all these people, and you can watch that film and recognize the hard work and talent that went into that, the freaking prop designers making the stop sign shaft, the background guy.
One shot of a stop sign?
Yeah, it's a static image.
Nothing else happens?
Yeah.
That's getting one star. I don't care how much effort got put into it. That's nothing.
Thank you. That's an honest review, even though you know hard work went into that. That you
no
still
hard work
can
went into
take
that.
away.
All you did was just have a bunch of people work on it.
What about my props designer? What about my polisher? What about my cameraman? You just
had a stop sign on there. What prop designer?
But the people that worked on that film worked hard. They made sure the stop sign looked good. The lighting guy. Could the lighting guy have done better? It's perfectly lit. Could the camera guy have done better? It's
a
perfectly
static
focused.
Shot.
No,
there's nothing else to go off of that. There's no more.
But
substance.
They did exactly their job perfect.
They
and
did
everyone
their
that
job.
worked on
got paid,
fucking Jurassic World Rebirth all had their camera in focus and they followed the storyboards and they all did exactly what the director
Jurassic
said.
World Rebirth, sir.
Tell me there's not a very expensive film you do not like.
I don't like the Halloween reboot trilogy. I don't like those films. Those are very expensive.
That's a fine way to go. So lots of people worked on that Halloween, the 2018 one with Jamie Lee Curtis coming back.
I don't know why we're trying to sit on the whole lots of people worked on it. I'm not judging this
because
on how
that's
many
what
people
you're
worked on
saying
it.
that a 7 or 8 out of 10 for Avatar is meant for, because the film is very well shot and well choreographed, whatever. Because you're saying that deserves you giving it a positive critic score, yet a negative review on side of that. And I feel like one is supposed to reflect the other, and they're supposed to both reflect your feelings. And that's kind of what I'm after here.
No, I disagree. I mean, I told you, reviews are a spectrum. It's not one
I agree.
thing, you know? I mean, it's all different. It's all based on different things, you know? When you review a product, you know, like a TV or something, it's like, okay, well, does it do all these points well? Like, does it meet these criterias? And you can say yes, but some of those criterias, you know, are different. So like, say like a TV, you know, some TVs are really good at showing sports. Other TVs are really good at playing video games. So you could have a TV that has really good showing sports, but bad at playing video games, but you're still going to give the really good at playing sports a high score, but you could not care about the fact that it does that because all you want to do for that TV is play video games.
I fully agree. So
you can't just give it a rating of, you know, 2 just because, oh, well, it plays sports, but I don't care because I'd rather play video games.
I watch me. I sure can.
Watch
because
you.
For my life and what I want out of a TV, I'll tell you this. And if you were the same way, you would sell that TV or throw it away or give it to your friend because you wouldn't use it. So because you had a negative experience, which should be reflected in a negative score, not a positive one.
But if you're reviewing it for the people, you have to give it the review for the people. I review for the people.
The people, when they look at your review, the people ask, did Xander like this? And if you say, I gave this an 8 out of 10, the question is answered.
No.
Now I want to know why.
You're looking at
so
this
let's
wrongly.
read the review. The review, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks.
No. You're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. Listen. The review is not... The stars are not, did Xander like this? It's, is this a quality film? So it is.
But if
yes,
you didn't like it, it's
film.
not.
Now you read the review to see, well, what are Xander's thoughts on this film?
What is a quality film if not a film someone enjoys?
There are plenty of things. Is the acting well done? Is the story well done? Are the effects well done? Is the lighting well done? Are the shots well done?
But if they're in service of a film that you don't enjoy, and let's say the acting is good, but you don't enjoy it. Alto Nights is the example we're going for.
Okay,
so I think Alto Nights is a very well-made film. It's got a lot of really, you know, people trying, people doing acting. They're serviceable in their role. But I found that film criminally boring. Even though the acting was good, for me, I did not enjoy watching the acting because I did not enjoy watching the film itself. Maybe the acting was part of that. I don't know. It's a boring-ass movie. I'm not giving that a positive score because I didn't like that movie. So if I sit there and give it like a 9 because the camera's in focus, acting's great, effects are great. Well, I don't know if there's effects. I feel like that's really disingenuous because that's not reflective of how I feel about the movie.
But if you give a review, then that's reflective of how you feel about the movie because it shows how you feel.
So what is the score then? What's it? Is it not your feeling on the movie?
No, the score is I've tried to explain this like 5 times. Like, I don't know how else to explain this. Like,
well, how do you score a film
I just
if
told
not
you.
based on your feelings?
Yes, it's not based.
Because then Stop Sign the film would not get a 1 star by your logic. It would get like a 5.
No,
5
why would it
stars,
give a
easy.
5 star?
What did it do wrong?
I personally think you did a lot wrong.
Thank you. You personally felt like it was boring as shit, and that's why the score is your score, not because of technical merit.
Okay.
Maybe that's part of how you feel. Maybe that leads into how you feel.
We're well versed in this, so I think this is a good example. Okay, Wolfman 2025. I gave it 2.5.
Okay, yeah, right in the middle.
So I gave it merit for its cinematography and impressive editing, and the acting is really well done. I don't think the story is good. I don't think the monster makeup is good. It's not even a personal bias. I objectively believe the werewolf makeup is fucking awful.
That 5 out of 10, and, you know, I've been dogging on you the whole time, that feels like it honestly reflects how you feel because there's a lot of positive and there's a lot of negative, and you're going through which is which in the review. that makes sense. The Wicked review, which we haven't really touched on, but you gave it a 7 out of 10, you didn't like it. The Wicked review does not correlate the way the Wolfman review correlates. You know what I mean?
Okay, the Wicked review. I thought the set design was good. I thought the makeup was good. Those aspects, I think the music is really well done. Like, they sing really good. I don't give a fuck about the music because I found it to be, you know, I'm like, oh my God, can we move on with the story? But I also recognize that the music is good. I recognize that it's done well. Just because I don't like musicals or I find that the music to be tedious and stuff doesn't mean that I can't say, yes, the songs are well made and everything. Yes, the songs are enjoyable to listen to.
You didn't like the movie overall, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I can happily live my life never watching Wicked at all ever again. Unfortunately, that will never be the case, but you know.
Well, lucky me, I'm in the same boat as you, except I can, in fact, never watch Wicked again, and I'm happy to not do that.
That must be nice.
Oh, yeah, it is. I don't know, because the way I feel is like, okay, so you don't like this film.
I don't.
You can appreciate the merit in this film, and you can appreciate the people behind the scenes who, you know, the producers who did good music. Again, the people with the stop sign making a good stop sign. But if you didn't enjoy the film, you didn't enjoy it.
I think you keep harping on the people behind the film. I never talked about. I mean, like, objectively, I can appreciate.
Well, that's what you're complimenting when you say the music is well done. You're complimenting the people that are making the music.
Okay. Well, I feel like this is just. That aspect is kind of losing the point because you keep going to the stop sign thing where it's like, okay, yes, the people did their job and they did their job well, but if the substance of there is not much to write home about, then I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
But that's my point. I don't believe the job was done well if the score ends up being a 1 out of 10.
The people in Wolfman 2025 did their job perfectly fine.
They did do their job perfectly fine, right in the middle of the road. Like I think it's a 7 out of 10. It's a fine film.
Okay.
Had they done their job amazing, it'd be an amazing movie.
Whoa! But you're missing a point. You're missing a point. There's always that whole thing where like an actor can do a great job playing a character, but it's not their fault that the script is trash. They're trying their best, but they did a great job with the acting, but the script is trash. So again, that's the thing. It's like, yes, they did their job. And they did a great job at it. You're going to recognize that they did a great job acting, but you're also going to recognize that, unfortunately, the substance. So again,
well, that's a great example.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. That's a really great example. So if there's a movie where the script is terrible, maybe the directing's terrible, but the actor's doing really, really good, there's going to be people out there that give it a positive review because they love his acting, people that give it a negative review because they didn't like the script. So if you watch the film and you do not like the film because it's badly written, but you recognize, oh, you know, the actor did good even though I don't like the film, 8 out of 10, people are going to see your 8 out of 10 and be like, oh, that guy liked the film. I better go watch it. And then they're not going to like it.
Exactly. You know, see, that's why you read the review. That's why you read the thoughts.
But your score is a review, my friend. It is. You might say it's different, but it's you reviewing a film with a score. If the
score was the review, they would call it a review, not the score.
You scoring it is your review of the film.
No,
in the
it's
form
not.
Of a score.
The score is the score. That's why
yes.
they call it a score and not a review.
Have you ever seen a teacher say, A+, terrible writing, horrible work, should have done better, try better next time? Of course not. The score is the review.
Okay.
Why they gave you an A+ is a different thing.
A teacher grades your work, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if a teacher grades your work, they're only grading it on if you matched all the criteria of an essay. Your essay could be boring as hell to them. It probably was boring as hell to them, but they're still going to give it an A because you met all the criteria.
Maybe they grade based off of other things, like how they felt reading it.
That's actually not true. I'm pretty sure
I went to college, bro. Like,
barred.
Absolutely, there are teachers that are passionate about English literature.
No. But they're passionate about English literature, but if they're reading the same ass thing every single time, that's going to get boring.
Well, that's why they hand out B's instead of A's.
No,
the real A's are the ones that actually try.
Okay, that's a bad teacher. If just because they found it, if the writing matched the whole criteria of a book report, but they still give it a C because like, well, it was boring. You didn't make me smile or anything. Whoa. First off, that teacher's going to get fired.
If the class is creative writing and your writing is
not
creative, you don't deserve an A.
I'm talking about the class being English 101. I don't know. Fucking... High
not far
school
off,
English
man.
class, high school English class.
High
really.
school, okay. High school, you're just trying to get the grade to get your diploma to go to fucking whatever. But college, you're
Exactly.
there to actually learn about the arts. You're trying to get your bachelor's degree, man. So if you're the human equivalent of a chat GBT where you can just regurgitate things you think of, that's fine. But if you actually write something that like speaks to someone, that's the A+. That's a positive review. That's a positive score.
I took creative writing classes, and I got you get an A. It's like an easy A. All you have to do is actually write something, and that's it.
Well, then that teacher is not passionate about his subject matter. I'm sorry.
My teacher was passionate about the subject matter. But that's the thing. It's subjective. As long as you do the criteria, we both took film school. When did you ever get an F in your film classes?
Never, because part of the grade is the fact that you tried. Part. There are more parts to that grade about what is the end product.
No.
How
but
good
like,
is it?
But like, if it's like, okay, you have to say you're like, okay, you have to make a short film. Has to be 30 minutes long. Has to have dialogue, a story, three low angles, 3 high angles, three long shots. And you meet all of those, then you're gonna get the grade.
If that's all the criteria you're using to grade it, then you will absolutely get 100%, 10 out of 10, 5-star, whatever.
Exactly.
But if part of the grade is like, how good is the final product? Because otherwise you could do a low shot of a stop sign, 3 angles of a stop sign, a character of a stop, and I could still win. I could still get the A+ with my stop sign.
Yes.
That's my, so if that's all you're judging it by, that's fine. And if you watch Wicked or Avatar or whatever, and all you're judging it is how good do the VFX look and how convincing are the acting, then yeah, that's a fine thing to say you liked it because of the VFX and the acting.
I found a lot of parts of Avatar to be interesting. I found the VFX to be amazing. I found the acting to be brilliant.
But that's not enough for you to say that you liked the film, which is fine. But don't give a positive score to a film you didn't like.
It is a well-made film.
There's no such thing as objective when it comes to film criticism.
Yes,
sorry.
there is!
There are absolutely objective merits to film, like camera being in focus. But you're not grading the film based on how in focus the camera is. You're grading the film based on how you feel because it was in focus or not. There are films like The Lighthouse that have it out of focus intentionally, and that's better for it. Had it been in focus, it would have been worse. So how you feel at the end of the day is the score. That's the review. That's what that's supposed to reflect. Whatever a score or review, whatever, it's supposed to reflect how you feel about the final product, like the art at the end of the day. That's kind of what it is. Film is just art.
Okay.
And if you look at a piece of art and you hate it, you can't give it a 10 out of 10 because
There has to be a movie out there. There has to be a movie out there that you've given a bad score, but you actually guiltily enjoy watching it.
Here's the thing. A guilty pleasure is when you recognize that a movie is like, whatever, not well made, not received well by the public, but you enjoy it.
Yeah.
If it's a guilty pleasure, I give that movie a positive score because it's a pleasure for me to watch it. I'm pleasured by watching it. It's guiltily because I know that it's not well received or well made or whatever else, but I liked it. So therefore, if I give it a negative score, it's not a guilty pleasure. It's a film I didn't like.
Okay, but say so a score. A score is, can we agree that a score is a culmination of what you believe elements of a film are good?
Yes.
Okay. So that culmination is acting, editing, cinematography, lighting. I don't know. Are there any other general ones we can go with?
It can be those things. It's whatever you judge a film based on.
Okay,
so like if acting is what I'm looking for, then yeah, that's part of it.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's whatever you do. So we have to establish what. There's Google again. So we have to establish what you would say or not what you would say. We would have to establish what a general idea of what a score is a mixture of. So can we establish that acting is one of them?
I don't think I'm comfortable establishing any one thing because the problem is someone else might not have that in their score. Someone else might not
I see.
Care about the acting.
So now okay. So then we say a movie is a 5-star because you loved the cinematography. You loved the lighting. You loved all those elements. And so you give it 5 stars. Now, Joe Schmo doesn't give a fuck about lighting, doesn't give a fuck about cinematography. And so he looks at your 5-star, and by your definition of how a rating should be and everything and how your logic works, he looks at that 5-star and he says, ooh, this movie's going to be great. It's got a bunch of action and it has amazing music. And he walks in.
He's assuming that. Hold on.
Yeah, he's assuming it because he has looked at your rating, and he, by your logic...
No, you said the word action. He's assuming there's action in it. Hold on. If I give a movie a 5-star because I like the cinematography, the acting, the lighting, the things that film people generally consider to be the metric by which you judge a film. If I like all those things in a film, I give it 5 stars. I think it's amazing. It's the new The Lighthouse, right? And someone else, like, I don't know, my dad who is just interested in like a fucking Liam Neeson action film with loud score, you know the type. One of those films.
Okay.
Right.
I meant action as in
and he looks at a 5-star.
I mean action as in a lot happens. Like it's a fast paced kind of film or something like that.
Sure. But like, you know, there's definitely he's a different type of person than me is my point. Where it's like someone who is going to the movies because they really want like a fun, crazy action time. Let's say they watch the Lighthouse trailer and they somehow think it's an action movie. Then they're going to go be disappointed and they're probably going to give it a lower rating or lower score because they personally did not enjoy that film.
Okay, but they read but they only looked at your rating. They don't watch the reviews because in your world reviews don't matter. It's just the score. So they only looked at the rating,
the score. So if they only look at the rating and they see I put a 5-star, all that tells them is that I fucking loved it. That's all that tells them.
That's all that tells them. That doesn't...
Yes, is how much I liked it. So if it's a 10, perfect. If it's a 5, it was okay, take it or leave it. If it's a 0, I fucking hated it. That's what a score does. That's what it's for.
But...
What else is it for?
The score is just whether or not it's a good movie. That's all it is. It is a score.
By your metric. And if you didn't like it, you can't say it's a good movie because you didn't like it.
So then wait. So then we can both agree that the ratings and scores have different meanings to each person. So then why are we arguing? Because it's like saying like...
Because the only reason we're arguing is because a rating and a score is a different thing to each person, but it should accurately reflect how they feel. So if you give a movie an 8 out of fucking 10. You can't say you didn't like it. You should fucking love it. That's what that means. And if you didn't like it, you can't give it above a 5.
That's not true. That is not true.
Absolutely true.
You can hate a movie and still recognize that it's a good movie. Joker fully do.
That's not... What does good movie mean?
Joker fully do. Okay, one, the trailers were very deceptive. No one really thought it was music. That was a whole ass thing. I know for sure.
Xander, hold on. We got to back it up.
Okay.
What is a good movie? I want you to tell me right now, what does a good movie mean, if not a movie that someone enjoys?
What is a man? A filthy... Sorry. Okay, a good movie is one that has... see, that it's a subjective thing. Everyone believes different movies are good.
Thank you. It's a subjective thing.
But there are also things of what is considered good filmmaking. What in the world of movies is considered a good movie, is good filmmaking.
But that's not an objective thing. That's subjective. It varies from person to person whether or not this piece of filmmaking is good or not.
A chef can make a great meal, and you can recognize this is a great meal, but you can also recognize it's not a good steak. But a food critic is still going to have to rate... His job is to rate that steak on whether or not it was a well-made steak.
Based on how he feels on the steak. Based on all of his experiences as a food critic and all the thousands of steaks he's eaten before.
And he's like, this is a juicy steak. It's well-crafted. It's seasoned perfect. I'm just not a fan of steak. But it did everything its job well. If you like steak, you're going to enjoy this steak.
Why is he ordering steak?
Because he's a film critic. He's a food critic. His job is to eat every single item on that menu and rate it.
You can't be a food critic if you don't like steak.
What?
My point is,
What?
you can't.
Yes,
because
you
you don't
can.
like it.
Yes, you can.
You don't like it.
What do you mean?
You do not like it.
So I have as a filmmaker, I have to like every single genre of film.
No, you have to like film, Xander.
I do like though. Okay, well
And if you don't like, let's say musicals. I also don't like musicals very much. If you don't like musicals, you can disclose that in your review. Hey, I'm not a big fan of musicals usually. This one, I can recognize the prowess here, but it didn't work for me. It'll probably work for you. But you need to give that a negative score to reflect how you did not like it.
Oh, okay. First off, I have free, so fuck you. I don't need to do that. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. but no, I don't. But actually, I don't have to do that because objectively, if I look at it objectively without any personal biases, then
What does objectively liking it mean? That doesn't make any sense.
It means that because I don't like musicals, I can still recognize that this was a well-made musical.
For who? Not for you.
For the masses, for those who enjoy musicals.
Are the masses giving it your score? No, you're giving it your score.
Oh my God.
If the masses want to chime in and give it a 5-star review, they can. They sure have on Letterboxd. But you yourself are watching this film, not enjoying it, walking out of it, writing a bad review, and giving it an 8 out of 10.
So you think
I can't wrap my head around that.
What did you rate Wicked?
I don't remember. Off memory, probably a 3 or a 4.
Okay, so then you thought the musical, the songs were mediocre then?
I thought I didn't enjoy the songs. I liked like 1 or 2 of the songs.
Okay, so you thought the songs were bad. You thought the acting was bad or mediocre. You thought every single aspect of the film was mediocre.
I recognized that film is a musical that is probably going to satisfy a lot of musical fans. Myself am not one of them.
Because by your logic, you don't. Oh, well,
No,
actually, no,
no.
not by your logic. By my logic.
Listen to my words. Listen to
By
my words.
my logic.
Listen to my words.
It's time. It's time we go from my perspective, Jake. We've been going from your perspective. By my logic, I look at that review and I say, oh, so you thought every aspect of this movie was mediocre. That's what you're telling me. If I am only looking at your rating.
What is mediocre? Is that like a 5?
No, mediocre is 3. I told you in my rating system, mediocre is 3.
3-star?
Yeah, 3 stars.
No. 3 out of 10. My mistake, my friend. I did not like that film.
Okay. So then my bad. All right. So, I thought you were going by. So you thought it was 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Yeah. So like what?
So
1
then
star or
by
something?
my logic, I'm looking at your score, and if I'm not reading your review, and I think, oh, 3 out of 10, he fucking hated that movie. He thinks this movie is completely awful. He thinks there's nothing good about this movie. And therefore, there is nothing good about this movie. Objectively,
in my opinion, that's all true. Nothing good.
Looking
but,
at this, if I was a musical lover, I look at that. Oh, he gave it 3 stars? That must be a horrible musical.
Well, if
But
they
that's
know me,
deceptive, because if you read the review and you say, oh, you know what? There's different parts or aspects. Like you said, I recognize that a lot of fans of that musical. So that means that objectively you recognize there's parts of this musical that a lot of fans are going to enjoy. So ergo, I have to read the review to get the
deceptive,
true,
that's honest.
to get the true thoughts.
The 3 out of 10 is the truth. That is not deceptive. If I gave it a 7 and didn't like it, that is deceptive.
No, it isn't, because if you read the review, you'll know why. You know what you don't personally enjoy.
But if you don't enjoy it, you can't give it a positive score.
Yes, you
That
can.
is disingenuous. What? I don't understand. Okay, all right. Hold on. Let's go with your example. So a fan of musicals sees my 3 out of 10 for Wicked and goes, wow, that must be a bad musical. If they don't know me and only look at my personal feeling on the movie, sure, that is an assumption they can make. Let's say I write a review that clarifies why I gave it a 3 out of 10. Oh, it's not for me. I liked XYZ, but I didn't like the majority of it. This is why.
Exactly. I liked the XYZ. It shows what you like.
XYZ. But my score reflects how I actually felt about the movie, not what other people might think about the movie.
The score reflects what you feel that movie deserves as a rating. It reflects how good you think it did as a movie.
But if you don't like it, then it doesn't deserve a good review from you because you watched it and didn't like it, and you're the one typing the review right now, Xander.
So if if you
were sitting there behind the keyboard,
so if a horror movie is an excellent horror movie, you just don't care about horror movies, you can't give it its merit. You have to say this is an awful film.
Did I like it?
Say you came out of it and you said, well, there's a lot of good parts, but I'm just not really a fan.
Sounds like it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10 from that point of view, that person's perspective. Then I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay, what about movies that are one and done? So you're like, okay, this was a great film, but I'm never gonna want to watch this again.
It's probably like a 5 or a 6, somewhere in that range, if I had to guess. 10 out of 10. A 5 or 10, 5 or 6 out of 10 to clarify. Sorry, the stars versus scores from 10 is fucking me. But
yeah, see, this is why we need to stick to stars ratings with movies.
All right, I'll stick to the stars rating for your sake. It sounds like a 3-star is what you're describing here.
So it's a 3-star
film that's like a mediocre film.
So if the movie was amazing, well, maybe The Whale. I don't know. Did you see The Whale?
I saw The Whale.
Did you think The Whale was great?
I thought it was a great movie.
Okay.
I'd probably give it, by your logic, 4.5 out of 10, 5.
Okay, so I agree. Whale was a great movie. I bought it on Blu-ray. It was great. I can never watch that movie again for personal reasons. Not personal enjoyment, just personal reasons. But I thought it was a great film. Now, the fact that I could never watch it again. Now, what are movies supposed to do? They're supposed to entertain, and a good movie. I think we can both agree. One sign of a good movie is that you want to watch it again, right?
Not in every case. I mean, Schindler's List, I'm not watching again, man.
Oh, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, so then why aren't you watching it again?
Is that your criteria of what a good movie is?
Well, that's
watching it a second time.
One of my criteria is that you would want to watch a good movie.
Well, that doesn't factor into my personal criteria.
See, this is the problem. Everyone has different criteria. You can't judge me just because I decide to give the score a different thing. But
okay,
also,
well, if it was common knowledge that like 10 checklist boxes of acting, cinematography, lighting, direction, if those things were like the 10, let's say those were the points on the 10 out of 10 meter, then obviously whatever your score is like an AI could do it. You wouldn't need the human. You could just scan the film and be like, lighting, yes. Acting, yes. Cinematography, yes. Whatever. You wouldn't need a person to feel anything about it.
But okay, feeling. See, feeling, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
A score has no feeling. You just look at a score and it's just an arbitrary number. There is nothing. Anyone can give.
And where does that number come from?
The number comes from whether or not the movie is good, whether or not you thought the movie was good. I thought the movie was good. Yes. I just don't like the fact that all of Avatar Way of Water is just spectacle.
Okay, so you said you didn't like The Way of Water. You said I just want to get that on the record here. You did not like the film overall. That is a fair assessment to make. Even though you enjoy parts of it or aspects of it or the filmmaking craft and stuff like that, you can say to yourself, boy, am I handsome, but also I do not like this film. And that's fair to say. Look, this is definitely where there's a dissonance here, because were I in your shoes, were I walking out of a film and I can appreciate the technical merits of the film, like Alto Nights or whatever else, but I personally did not enjoy the film, then I'm going to give it based on how the film hit me, because at the end of the day, that's what art is for. It's supposed to make you feel something, and film is obviously art. No one's possibly arguing otherwise. So film's supposed to make you feel, that the point of a movie is to make you feel a certain way, whether that's Schindler's List making you feel depressed about the Holocaust. If it successfully does that, and it's a good movie in the process as it does that to you, it's a great review, even though you don't like walk out with a smile on your face.
Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Okay, so say you didn't like John Wick, say you didn't like John Wick 4.
A better example is Ballerina.
Okay, but Ballerina, you enjoyed Ballerina, right? You loved Ballerina. I enjoyed it. I believe you've even said that you're putting it in your top 10 list, right?
Not anymore, but it was for a time. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're assuming that it's still in that top 10 list for the sake of this argument.
Sure.
Can we? Okay. But you just said you didn't think the story was amazing.
Yes.
Okay, but what was the score you gave it?
I don't know, but probably like either a 7 or an 8.
7 or 8 out of 10. Okay, so I look at that score and I think, oh, that must be a great film. He must thought every aspect of the movie was good. But you
No, why
think
would you
the
think
story
that?
sucks.
Why
Because
would
I'm
you
looking
think-
at the rating. Because the rating is the overall culmination of every part of the film.
Yes, and how could you think I thought every part of the film was good if I gave it an 8 out of 10?
Because I looked at the overall rating of the film.
Actually, if I gave it a 10 out of 10, you would have thought, oh, everything's great about the film, but I gave it an 8 out of 10, which means that there are definitely criticisms there. And one of them is the writing. That logic tracks.
But
I don't know.
but I don't know that unless I look at the review.
No, but you know that I don't think it's a perfect film if I give it an 8 out of 10.
But I don't know what parts you don't think are perfect.
That's why you click the review if you want to know why I gave it an 8 out of 10. But if you click a review that says 8 out of 10 and it's a negative review, it makes no sense.
But if in your review you say, I recognize these parts are good and that this is good and stuff like that, and then you say why you personally didn't like it, then that reflects, oh, that's why he gave it a 4-star. But he as a person didn't personally like it. The film was you have too complex of a feelings that you can just narrow it down in the ratings.
I'm like,
Oh, come on.
I'm blown away
come
right
on.
now.
How does
Hold
that
on.
not make any sense to you?
That makes so much no sense. That makes the least sense.
What?
Because if you give a film a 4-star out of 5, that could only mean that you enjoyed that. You gave it a positive review. You thought positively of that film. That could only mean that. But if you're giving it that score,
wait, hold on. You said I think positively of that film, right?
sure, yes, that's what I
That's true.
said.
That's true. But what does positively mean in this aspect?
It means you liked it.
No. It doesn't. See, that's the thing.
Yes!
That's the problem. That's the problem with your logic. Positively has no more thing. It just means positive. It just means good. Negative just
By
means
your
bad.
standards, by way of you liking it.
Our vegetable is positive.
If I like them,
No. Are they positive?
what is that? What are you talking about?
They're good for your body. They're healthy. They're a good food to put in your body, right?
That is not an opinion. That is an objective statement. They are an objective good food.
They
That's
are
not the same as a film
positive.
criticism. Because watching a film is objective. It's not like you watch this film and cure cancer. That doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Some movies do cure my depression.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. The Lighthouse is good for the soul, man. It just makes you feel good.
John
But
Wick
no-
4 is good for the soul.
Yeah. Whew, the flamethrower part. Whew. But no, so my
Flamethrower
whole
part.
point is, I get you've taken the words positive and spiraled out of control with it. My point is,
we are going into the philosophical debates of what one thing means or another. Also, you said a perfect film. What even is a perfect film? Okay, I can give a 5-star.
what is a perfect
movie
film
5 stars,
to
but not
you?
think it's perfect.
To me, The Matrix is a perfect film, but that's a subjective truth. I give it a 10 out of 10.
And to me, The Wolfman is a perfect film.
Right. My point is, if someone else comes along and say, oh, I don't like Wolfman 1941, I give it a 0, I fucking hate everything about it, that's also equally as true as you saying you love The Wolfman, it's your favorite movie, because those are both subjective truths. So a score is supposed to reflect your subjective truth when you watch a film, if you want to get philosophical.
You don't like Wolfman 1941, right?
I think it's fine. I give it like a 6 or something. It's good.
It's mediocre. It's all right. It's good. See,
good.
so you said it's good, right?
I think it's good, yeah.
But there are a lot of aspects about it you don't enjoy, right?
That is true as well, yes.
Okay, but you recognize that the makeup is very impressive.
That's part of my positive of the film, part of the 6 out of 10.
See, part of it...
Because it's not all about makeup. If I was just judging objective things like, wow, makeup and acting, wow, I'd be a robot. But I'm also judging how I feel. I'm judging, wow, is this convincing in this moment, which you can't ask a machine to do.
See, there you go. That's why you can't just look at the rating itself, the score itself. You can't just look at the score itself because that's just your robot's perspective.
No, your score is not a robot's perspective. It's your perspective. That's my point. And if you're judging it based on, like, is Wicked 70% of a good thing, that makes no sense. But if it's actually speaking to you to some extent, if it's actually not bad, you'd give it a positive score. And if you actually did not like the film, you'd give it a negative score because you didn't like it.
I don't understand how this isn't making sense to you, Jake.
Okay, Wolfman, I give it a 6 out of 10. You give it a 10 out of 10. Part of my 6 is the objective technical merits. Yes, the makeup's great. Yes, the cinematography's, eerie and atmosphere. But I do have criticisms with the film as well. And I'm not going to... if I bring them up now, we're just going to spiral for another hour. But my point is...
So Wolfman 2025. Just kidding.
Yeah, my point is that if taking those together, mixing the good and the bad, okay, do I feel more positively or negatively, your favorite word, about this film? More positively. Okay, how much so? 6. Done. That's how I determine overall my score for the film. It's not determined by, is the camera always in focus? Yes. Is the acting good? Yes. Is this, that? Yes. Makeup? Yes. Okay, 10. Move on. That's not how anyone should write any scores. It's not a pet essay. You're not a teacher.
I mean, you have to admit some things. I mean, it's like, okay, you don't enjoy the songs, but like you can agree they're well-crafted songs because the majority of people think it, like you recognize that.
We're saying the same thing. But the difference
Yes,
is,
exactly.
if I watch Wicked, if we both watch Wicked, we both did not like Wicked. We both appreciate that a lot of the songs are well-produced, well-made, sound like normal pop songs, and are not horribly offensive to some extent.
Well, I wouldn't call them normal pop songs.
End of the day, you would give a film you didn't like a positive score, and I would give it a negative score, because that accurately reflects how I feel about the movie. And that's the main crux here.
But that doesn't accurately affect how...
Yes, it does.
I can't
if
give
I
a
don't
movie
like it,
2
I'm giving it a
stars.
negative review.
No, but I'm saying for my review, I'm saying for my rating, I can't give a movie 2 stars because that doesn't reflect how I accurately feel. That's not how I accurately
But you
feel.
don't like it.
I don't care if I don't like it. I still think
That's
this movie
what the
deserves
review
4
is.
stars because it did these aspects well. I feel it did those aspects well, so I'm going to give it 4 stars because that's how I feel.
But did they do it well if you didn't like it?
It doesn't matter if I liked it or not. I can still recognize. We literally,
That is literally what a review is.
We can
is if you liked it or
recognize
not.
it did something well.
How could it have done it well if you didn't like it? How could you say you did? If I punch you in the face, you're not going to sit there and go, yeah, your form was great, 8 out of 10 with a black eye. You're going to be like, that was one of the worst experiences of my life. No, you're going to say my experience was very negative.
You punched me really well.
If someone asked you to review me punching you in the head, you'd get me like, that's the worst part of my day. Worst part of my month, actually.
It was the worst part of your day, but that doesn't mean that you can't recognize that you did a great punch.
Is that what you're giving the score to?
Oh, baseball. You can recognize. Oh, we don't have to do baseball. Actors. Okay. What's a fucking? Here's one. Kevin Spacey.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm going that far. Okay.
All right.
Kevin Spacey, before all the stuff came out,
okay,
he was recognized as a great actor.
I fully agree.
So Kevin Spacey's a great actor, but he did horrible things. So
yes.
You don't like him as a person, but he's still a great actor, unfortunately. But he's a bad person. So you see,
what are you asking? Are you asking the question of how would I rate Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, how would you rate Kevin Spacey?
It's a funny question.
What would you rate his acting talents as?
Oh, like 10. I don't have any criticisms with the acting talents, actually.
So you like Kevin Spacey?
As a person, if you're going to ask me to rate
him...
What do you mean, see?
No, see, here's
you
the
asked
problem.
me a direct question, and I give you a direct answer.
Yes or no, do you like Kevin Spacey?
That's not the question you first asked me. You asked me how I like his acting ability, and I said 10.
So you think his acting ability is 10?
Sure.
But do you like Kevin Spacey?
The parts of him unrelated to his acting ability, I would probably feel very negatively. Actually, I don't have to say probably. I do, in fact, feel very negatively about it. So if I were asked, how do I feel about Kevin Spacey in his entirety, I'd probably say 5.
5?
Wouldn't you?
That's a pretty high bar for a person who's...
Well, if I'm just judging his personal actions, I'd probably give him a fucking 0. But if I'm judging him as an entirety...
See, that's what I'm talking about. You've judged him on his entirety. You've given 5 stars because as an actor, he did a good job. But personally,
I said 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
Not 5 stars.
That's what I was going. I was going off 5 out of 10. Sorry. But personally, you don't like Kevin Spacey because of things he's done outside of acting.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
You've proven my point that you
How
can
have I
rate
proven
something
you've proven mine
based on their quality, but also rate like. I recognize Avatar: Way of Water is a quality film, but I don't like Avatar: Way of Water.
But if you don't like it, you can't say it's quality for you. You didn't enjoy
So
it.
you don't like Kevin Spacey, so then you can't say that he's a 5 out of 10.
What? That doesn't track. You think that tracks, but that doesn't track.
What do you mean? You think your thing tracks, but it doesn't track. Because I didn't like Way of Water, I have to say it's trash? But you
have to give a review that a score, since you think that's a different thing, a score that reflects how you feel about the movie. And if you felt like it wasn't a good movie, you can't give it a positive score. I feel like that's a really easy thing.
I'm reflecting how I feel about the movie. I am. I reflect that it was a well-crafted movie.
But it wasn't well-crafted enough for you to like it, so how could it have been well-crafted for you? Let me put it this way. There is a version of Avatar: The Way of Water that you would have liked. Let's say there's way less water scenes, there's way less swimming, whatever your criticisms were. Imagine those criticisms weren't there. Imagine a different version of Avatar 2. Honestly,
if you cut out like pretty much most of the water shots,
you'd probably really enjoy it. Then you could give it an 8 out of 10 because you really liked it. But in its current form, you didn't like it. You didn't like the creative decisions. You didn't like how many shots were of water. And therefore, you can't give it a positive score because you did not like the film. And that's okay that you didn't.
I liked most of the aspects of the film, so I have to give it a
not enough to like it.
I did like most of the
Not enough to like the film.
Oh my god. Okay,
I'm just saying.
The problem here is that I believe that the rating does not respect the feeling. If you just go off the rating, there's no conversation. It's just like, oh, whatever. That's why whenever you ask, hey, what do you think about a movie? A good conversation isn't just, oh, well, I just give it five stars.
No, but the five should mean what you think it means. Like, it should mean your feelings.
But if I gave a detailed reason as to why, that's a conversation. That's everything.
Sure, and that's all well and good. But if you watch Avatar: Way of Water, and let's say you don't like the VFX, and you don't like the acting, and you don't like the whatever else, and you don't like all these things, then whatever you're like, if you feel predominantly negatively about the aspects of the film, then your rating absolutely should not be positive because that's disingenuous to how you actually feel about the film.
Let's roll back the clock. Say I said Avatar: Way of Water is 2 stars. How do you react?
I mean, 2 stars isn't the worst rating in the world, so, like, for what it is, I would get it. You hate Star Wars sequel trilogy movies, I don't know. That's kind of insane.
Okay, so again, you don't know anything about my review. You never read it. All I told you in that Discord message was Avatar: Way of Water is 1 star.
The only thing I would get from that, and the only thing I should get from that, is that you really didn't like it. I don't. That doesn't tell me why. That just says you don't like it.
That I didn't like it. Are you like, what? What didn't he like?
I'd be a bit surprised. I would then ask, why didn't you like it? And then you could provide why.
And if I said I thought the story was really good, I thought the acting was really good, I thought the VFX was really good, but I just fucking don't like that it's all just spectacle and this and that. If I gave it the same review, and I admitted that there were great things about this film, would this conversation still be happening, or would you have no issues?
If you gave the same predominantly negative review that you wrote for Avatar: The Way of Water, but your rating was instead 1 or 2 star, it's not a problem, because that accurately reflects how you feel about the movie.
Okay.
If you gave a really positive review, and you gave it your 4-star review that currently exists on Letterboxd, but the paragraphs are all super positive, that would also be fine. That also tracks. That makes sense.
But if I gave it a positive review and I gave it 1 star,
that would absolutely not be like that. You either liked it or you didn't, right? You can have mixed feelings, but if you have mixed feelings,
Wicked the musical, the Wicked movie.
Sure.
If I gave it 2 stars and I gave it a positive, glowing review, and at the end I said, "But I find musicals to be boring," does that accurately reflect my score?
I wouldn't know how to feel, because do you like the movie overall? In that fictional context?
I don't like musicals, so I find them boring. But I still gave it a glowing review. See?
Not the question I'm asking. I'm
finally getting somewhere.
The question I'm asking is, in your example, did that version of Xander like the film Wicked or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
But he gave it what star?
1 star.
That's disingenuous because he actually liked it.
But I don't like musicals. That's how I feel.
But you
I
like
just don't
that film.
musicals.
If you like that film,
But I
you
don't
can't
like
give it a 1
musicals.
star.
I find
Doesn't matter. You
musicals
like that film.
boring.
You just
I
admitted that
liked
you
every
like that
other.
film.
But I liked every aspect but the musical numbers. So it's 1 star because of the musical numbers.
Then you're not being honest with yourself, my friend.
So
if you
wait. I think we've hit a breakthrough. We've hit a breakthrough. Okay. Okay. Look. Avatar: Way of Water. Okay, we're gonna go back to that.
Okay.
So I've recognized all these aspects are good about the movie, right? I've recognized it's
to you or like is the camera in focus?
To me, if I am being honest with myself, Avatar: Way of Water is a great movie, but the VFX is the main thing, and there are just so many shots of the water. But if I am being honest with myself, yes, it's a great movie. So the 4 star is showing what I recognize as honest with myself. Honestly, I enjoyed the movie.
Then we're good. Because your rating reflects how you feel.
So then why do you have an issue with my scathing review?
Because in the chat you said you didn't like the film, which is not honest.
And you... My whole point is that you can give... That rating and review are 2 different things, and you can objectively give a film a positive rating while also... Is it subjective?
Subjective, yeah.
Yeah, and while also subjectively not liking the movie.
Objective and subjective, obviously 2 different things. A film has objective qualities, like, oh, there's a microphone in this camera here, you know? That's an objective thing. But if someone's watching this YouTube video right now and one person watches it and likes that there's a microphone here and one person doesn't because they think it looks like a big dick in my face, then both of those are valid criticisms or likes. But the guy that liked it, he can't give it a fucking negative score if he liked it. And the guy that didn't like it can't possibly be like, oh, yes, there's merit here, but I didn't like it, so 10. That doesn't make any sense because you need to give it how you feel. And that's what all of film criticism is.
He's giving it 10 because there's merit there. I'm giving it 10 because I recognize the VFX are good.
You can recognize it but not like it. That's fine.
But if I have no substance beyond just personally not liking...
That's all they're asking for in a review. That's all a review is.
That's not all reviews. That's all a score is.
Right, but your score isn't how you feel. Your score is a checklist of cinematography and acting and whatever else.
Yes, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
I think that's so not what a person's score of a film is. I think that's so far off base.
We'll see what the comment sections say.
We'll see what the comment sections say.
Watching this, please pop off. I don't want to... I want to know. Maybe I am wrong. If I am wrong, I will die on that hill.
Guys, I want you to know that I'll have edited this down. This is an hour and a half discussion we've had. All right, we've gone off.
You might never know, truly, because Jake might edit this to make me seem very stupid.
I'm actually only going to keep in my video and delete all your audio.
Exactly. You're just going to be like, well, I mean, that's what he said.
No, Xander, listen. Excellent treat as always talking to you. I cannot wait for the next episode of UMP. I think this video will upload before the next UMP, so our special guest is still unannounced, but it's going to be a guy you all know and recognize, and who has not been on UMP yet. So hell yeah.
Yes. It's going to be fun.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait.
With that said, I can't wait in 12 years when the 3rd one comes out, which I guess I was eating my words because it came out, I think, like, the next one is coming out this year.